Hello guys and girls, my name is Kosif and welcome to another video. It honestly feels like it was just yesterday since I made the progress of February video. And you know, it's March already, the 11th of March. Just not the beginning of the month, but yeah, getting in there. So here we go with another update video of the month, and hopefully this will be good news for a lot of fans out there of the project. So I think in December time I said something like we're hoping to get open beta out in the beginning of January. Now obviously this is a progress video of March and we're still in closed beta. So a little explaining to do there. I think I've probably touched on it through January or February, but this is sort of like a final outcome now. A while ago in general, quests, skills, they've always been an awkward thing to work with. Skills, for example, for anybody who isn't really unsure at the moment what the project is, we're pretty much just creating a replica of RuneScape through another game. And that game is Never's Nights 2. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game, but it's online. Well, not online, but it's you know, on the internet. Now, with that, it has its own elements, you know, it's not RuneScape. And, of course, although I just say, you know, we're replicating RuneScape, we have our own twist, we do things sort of like our own way, we take different paths on certain areas, but it's pretty much exactly like RuneScape. So skills and quests, those are two things which are hard to work with, sort of. Skills, Never's Nights 2 doesn't have skills like RuneScape. They're leveled different ways and all that stuff, so to create a custom skill, you know, skill system, it took a lot of time. And to get all that tweaking and stuff, it just took ages, it took a lot of reworking. That's why the project takes so long, it's because we're trying to get something, you know, we're trying to base a game off something else, which is not impossible, but very difficult to do. Especially with, like, building landscape. You can say, oh, you know, building landscape should be easy because you're literally you're looking at something already made instead of using your imagination to create something new. That is not true at all. We have to get the landscape perfectly right, so it looks, you know, it's recognizable. What was it? On our Facebook page, I think we did when I was building Tutorial Island, I did like a teaser of a section of Tutorial Island. Not the most recognizable bits. I think it was just like a house. And somebody says, you know, is that a Slayer Tower? And I'm like, that's very worrying because, you know, you're trying to make an area look like RuneScape and then somebody says Tutorial Island looks like a Slayer Tower in Canifis. That's a massive worry. But yeah, so skills, that's all sorted now. We've got the same formula as RuneScape, so that's pretty, you know, really good. Quests, on the other hand, I think what you're seeing at the moment is our journal, the quest system, pretty much. We have Cook's Assistant, Tutorial Island, and I'm currently working on Restless Ghost. I did Restless Ghost quest so many years ago. I think it was actually the first quest I ever made in the entire project. Like when I was working on Never's Nights 1 about 6 years ago, Restless Ghost was the first quest I made. So I'm working with Restless Ghost again, and I think this is about the 4th or 5th time that I've literally redone this quest because it's so... well, the project itself has had so many issues with quests. Previously, our quest system, we thought it was perfect, but the programmer who was no longer in our team, he didn't leave. He created this mass complex of spaghetti code and scripts of quest system, which was actually quite dangerous. And we ourselves, like myself and Colton, we had no idea how to do this. You know, how to create quests, pretty much. So, as you can see, back in December, when I said, you know, hopefully trying to get the open beta out in the beginning of January, at that time, in my mind, I was like, you know, once open beta comes, we need to start releasing quests, you know, member skills, bosses, and more monsters and more items and loot and stuff like that. But the one big worry in my head, because, you know, we always think ahead of, like, open beta, we have a shit ton of stuff planned for open beta. So in my head, in December, I'm like, you know, we're going to release open beta, then there's going to be a massive time of when there's no, you know, no updates, no content being pushed out, because we have no idea how to work with this quest system. We didn't have a clue how to edit, you know, current quests. I think I had to try and do something for Tutorial Island to fix a bug. And it took me so long to fix it, it was just so time consuming. So now you can see, you know, why open beta has taken this long. And you gotta remember, you know, the project is only a hobby. We don't get paid and we don't make money from this apart from donations. But it's not like a source of income and we spend like endless hours every single day working on it. That's why it takes so long. And so now, for the good news, I'm just going to stop all the bad news. The good news is we freelanced a programmer who wrote us up a quest system. So this is why I have to sort of like redo every single quest we have. Luckily, I made these conversations like so many years ago. They're probably being revamped a bit, but yeah. I made all these conversations ages ago, so it's literally just filling in the blanks pretty much, replacing the old scripts with the new scripts. So for March, it is literally this. As somebody as myself, who's pretty much created a project, and you know, I've worked on everything, I've seen everything get added into the project. It's hard to say, you know, when the game is 100% complete, say with closed beta. So it's hard to say, you know, oh, closed betas, we just need to do this and then it's all done. But now, in my head, it's like, we only have to do this quest system and then the closed beta is done. We've had testers playing the project throughout this time, and the feedback has been good. We've stomped out every single bug we've found so far, and there isn't many bugs at all. The only restrictions of bugs might be the game of Never Nights 2 itself. That's not much we can do about that, but there is, you know, there's not much bugs at all to my knowledge. So that's pretty much it for the update of March. Short and sweet, hopefully. It is literally just me revamping all the quest systems. I'm doing a lot of, I'll actually show you as well. I'm doing a lot more cool stuff with the quests as I go through it. One thing I've boasted about is, you know, having the own alignment system, where, you know, in Runescape you could say, it's hard to say, in Runescape you don't have any official status of like who you're a follower of. So say if I was, oh yeah, one day I'm going to be a follower of Zamrock, I'm going to buy Zamrock plate armor and legs and wear that, so you know, shows I'm a follower of Zamrock. And then the next day I could just say, oh yeah, you know, I'm a follower of Guthix. You see, I'm wearing Guthix armor. There's no, you know, there's no thing suggesting that at all. So what we've got here is, well, Never Nights 2, it has its own alignment systems, of course. Mostly D&D games do. So here we have Cook's Assistant's quest. You know, a very novice quest. You just gather items and that's it. So in the quest, once you bring the egg, the pot of flour, and the... oh geez, what was the other one? Oh, buckets of milk. So buckets of milk, egg, pot of flour. Well, beforehand, the cook gives you some money to, you know, to buy like the stuff. I think it gives you like 100 gold. So when you talk to him, he goes, "Do you have the change? I did give you a hefty coin, a hefty 100 coins." And so here you have 3 options. So you go, yeah, it was only 100 coins, you can have them back. It was a favour after all. So this means, you know, you're doing a good deed. And say if you're a Guthix follower and you were doing all these good deeds, you would eventually get led to the path of Saradomin, because it's, you know, Guthix isn't good or evil, he's neutral. So if you're only doing good things, then you know, you're not making it balanced, or you know, only doing favors instead of, you know how you know how neutral works. Your alignment gets changed. Its example is you know, if you're a Zamrakian or you're a follower of Zamrock and you're constantly doing good deeds, you get led to a path of Saradomin. You know, if you're a Saradomist and you're doing evil stuff, you'll eventually get led to the path of Zamrock. So, you know, as I was saying, so here you can choose something like, yeah, it was only 100 coins, you can have them back. You know, that's only if, you know, if only like 100 coins isn't anything to you. Or you could say, you know, sure, here you go. So you've given him back the change. I think it's like 50 or 40 gold coins. And then you say, or you could say, you know, I think I deserve a change having to run around for you. So, you know, you're keeping the 100 gold coin. Well, you're keeping the change anyway. So that's one of the, you know, the small things I'm adding is alignments. It's going to be mostly in quests, also some conversations or whatever. But mostly it's for like, hopefully like some of the, you know, end quests. I know Runescape did something similar to it in the, I think it was either the Void Stairs Back or one of the the Void Night quests, where you can either choose to kill the baby, I think it was like a pest queen, a baby pest queen, or a baby pest. If you kill it, you get the Executioner Void. If you save it, you get like the good version of Void. But then again, you know, after the quest, you can just switch between either one. So we want those permanent fixtures because it is, you know, it does define who your character is. So we don't want it to be like we have like an NPC where if you choose to be good, but then you eventually do a lot of bad deeds and you get led to the Zamrock path. You're like, oh, I don't want to be a Zamrakian anymore. Let me just pay this NPC 10k gold and let me be a Saradomist. We wouldn't want to do things like that. Maybe, you know, maybe like a mini quest or something like that, where you can do like a pilgrimage. If you do want to, you know, revert to a different alignment, say if you're a Zamrakian, you talk to a priest and they'll give you a pilgrimage to convert your alignment, something like that. But yeah, that's the updates for March. Hopefully we'll get a further update for the end of March or somewhere in March on the progress of open beta. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.